15 rare gemstones secretly connected to Christmas legends. One Christmas secret never made it into the Bible. A hidden thread connecting ancient winter rituals, forgotten manuscripts, and 15 rare gemstones believed to carry traces of the season's most powerful legends. Some were thought to glow only on Christmas Eve. Some were carried by travelers who followed a star. And others appeared in artwork so sacred that the stones themselves became part of the Christmas sky. Across empires, monasteries, and frozen northern villages, these gems shaped how people understood hope, light, and miracles during the darkest nights of the year. Their stories were whispered, protected, and in some cases, deliberately erased. Today, those stories return. This journey reveals the 15 rare gemstones secretly woven into Christmas legends. Through myth, faith, cosmic events, and the human need to find meaning in winter darkness. Stay through the first stone, because once the truth behind it is revealed, the rest of the list will never look the same. Ranked 15th, Bloodstone, the Winter Guardian Stone. Among the many gemstones whispered about in old winter folklore, few carry a reputation as haunting and protective as Bloodstone. Across medieval Europe, this deep green jasper flecked with crimson was believed to awaken during the darkest nights of the year, especially during the Christmas season, when cold winds, long journeys, and spiritual uncertainty collided. While most people today recognize Bloodstone as a traditional March gem, its hidden roots in winter legends are far older and far more mysterious. According to 14th century manuscripts from the Rhine Valley, travelers crossing frozen roads during the 12 nights of Christmas often carried Bloodstone as a talisman. They believed the red specks symbolized winter's sacrifice, a reminder that endurance and protection were granted to those who respected the season's dangers. It wasn't merely an ornament. In the eyes of medieval wanderers, it was a silent guardian. Monks recorded stories of lost pilgrims who survived blizzards with nothing more than a cloak and a bloodstone sewn into its lining. Whether coincidence or embellishment, the stone's reputation spread quickly. Its deeper symbolic link to Christmas legends emerges in a lesser-known tradition, the belief that Bloodstone absorbed winter misfortune. Villagers across the Alps placed Bloodstone near doorways during Christmas Eve, claiming it shielded their homes from cold spirits that roam freely before the dawn mass. Even in regions where the nativity story dominated winter belief, this gemstone retained its pre-Christian status as a seasonal protector, quietly merging with the evolving Christmas narrative without ever being mentioned aloud. Gemologically, the stone's appearance seems designed for myth-making. The mossy green base resembles evergreen branches, the most enduring symbol of life during winter. The red inclusions resemble embers, tiny sparks refusing to die out in the cold. It is no surprise that medieval storytellers saw the stone as a fire that could be carried in the pocket, a winter heart beating against the season's darkness. This fusion of visual symbolism and seasonal danger made Bloodstone one of the rare gems directly embedded into Christmas folklore, even if only through whispers and rural tradition. Today, the stone's winter legends have faded, overshadowed by modern interpretations, but its old reputation as a guardian still lingers in historical texts, waiting to be rediscovered. Bloodstone once served as a talisman for travelers facing the brutal storms of December. Its reputation as a winter guardian grew from stories of survival, faith, and the human instinct to seek protection under harsh conditions. But does this ancient symbolism still resonate today? Or has the stone's meaning shifted into something more personal? Courage, resilience, or steady determination? When you think of a gemstone that embodies endurance, does Bloodstone come to mind? Or does another take its place? Share your view. Your story becomes part of the legacy this stone carries through winter history. Ranked 14th. Snowflake Obsidian, the Winter Purity Stone. Forged in volcanic fire, yet patterned with icy white crystals, Snowflake Obsidian is nature's paradox. Darkness and purity locked together. To winter tribes, these frozen flakes symbolize spiritual cleansing during the year's coldest nights. When Christmas traditions absorbed older solstice rituals, the stone's stark beauty became a symbol of inner renewal. It reminded families that even in deep darkness, clarity and purity can emerge like snow on black rock. Long before Christmas traditions spread across Europe, Mountain tribes in the Carpathians viewed snowflake obsidian as a sign of seasonal cleansing. When the first snow of winter fell, elders carried the stone into forests, believing the white crystal clusters represented winter spirits descending from the sky. As Christianity spread across the region, many pre-winter rituals merged seamlessly with emerging Christmas customs, and snowflake obsidian remained at the center of that transition. One of the most intriguing legends comes from 11th century Bohemia, where villagers believed the stone appeared only to those ready to release the burdens of the old year. During the week leading up to Christmas, families placed snowflake obsidian near their windowsills. As snow gathered outside, the contrast of dark stone and white flakes symbolized the cleansing of past sorrows, an unspoken ritual aligning with the Christmas message of renewal and forgiveness. Gemologically, its story becomes even more compelling. The pure black obsidian represents the longest winter night, while the white cristobalite inclusions resemble falling snow captured in time. No other gemstone carries this balance of opposing forces, the volcanic chaos that created it, and the serene winter imagery embedded within. This duality inspired medieval poets to call it the midnight snow, a metaphor for the stillness of Christmas Eve when the world seems suspended between silence and promise. Yet the stone's deeper Christmas link lies in a rare belief, that snowflake obsidian revealed truth during the season of Nativity. Some manuscripts from 13th century Austria record families using the stone as a symbolic mirror of conscience, reflecting hidden intentions during the holy season. Not because it truly reflected anything mystical, but because its stark contrast reminded people of the clarity winter brings. As modern viewers rediscover old legends, snowflake obsidian's role becomes a bridge between ancient solstice traditions and Christmas symbolism, purity, reflection, and renewal wrapped in volcanic glass. This stone's paradox, fireborn darkness marked with patterns of snow, mirrors the contradictions of winter itself. Some saw those white flakes as symbols of purification. Others viewed them as reminders that clarity often emerges from contrast. But how do you interpret this duality? Does snowflake obsidian evoke strength, cleansing, or a deeper sense of balance? Share the meaning you see in it. The beauty of this gemstone lies not only in its appearance, but in how each person reads its patterns differently. Ranked 13th, Moldavite, the fallen winter star. Few gemstones carry an origin story as dramatic or as celestial as Moldavite. Born from the impact of an ancient meteorite striking Central Europe nearly 15 million years ago, the stone formed when fragments of vaporized earth and stardust fused together in midair before falling back to the ground. Its olive-green translucence, streaked with cosmic textures, has long reminded cultures of something not entirely earthly. And for centuries, winter folklore in Central and Eastern Europe quietly linked Moldavite to one of the most iconic motifs in Christmas tradition, the descent of a heavenly star. In Moravian villages, a legend dating back to the Middle Ages speaks of a winter star that fell during the coldest nights of December. Locals believed the fragments it left behind glowed faintly, as though carrying the light of something divine. When Christianity spread through the region, the story intertwined naturally with the Star of Bethlehem. Many villagers told their children that the green stones found in riverbeds were remnants of the same celestial light that once guided the wise men toward the Nativity. Though symbolic rather than literal, the association was strong enough that Moldavite quietly became a seasonal talisman in several rural communities. The gem's appearance strengthened the myth. Moldavite's internal ripples resemble frozen winds, while its green hue mirrors the evergreen branches used in Christmas traditions across Europe. To medieval storytellers, it looked like a piece of the winter sky carved into stone. Another tradition recorded in early Czech manuscripts describes Moldavite as a wish stone used during the 12 nights of Christmas. Families placed a single piece near candles or lanterns, believing the flickering firelight activated the stone's celestial heritage and granted protection for the coming year. From a gemological perspective, Moldavite is already extraordinary, neither fully terrestrial nor fully cosmic. This liminal nature allowed winter legends to flourish. The idea that a gemstone could fall from the heavens during the season of miracles resonated powerfully through local folklore. Even today, Moldavite's extraterrestrial origin continues to spark fascination, turning it into one of the most mystical stones associated with the holidays. Moldavite's extraterrestrial origin invites questions few gemstones can provoke. Was its association with Christmas stars a poetic metaphor, or did people truly believe they held a fragment of something divine? Its strange texture and unearthly glow challenge the line between science and story. When you imagine this stone falling from the sky onto a winter landscape, what does it represent? Cosmic wonder, spiritual symbolism, or simply the awe of the unknown? Share your view. Your imagination becomes part of what keeps this legend alive. Ranked 12th, Baltic Amber, the eternal winter sunstone. In the far north, the sun sometimes vanished for weeks. To remember its warmth, people turned to a golden relic washed ashore by ancient seas, Baltic Amber. When held to the fire during winter solstice rituals, it glowed like a captured sunbeam. As Christianity spread, this glowing remnant of summer became tied to Christmas celebrations, symbolizing divine light returning to a darkened world. Amber became the sun of winter, eternal, patient, and full of memory. Centuries before Christianity reached the Baltic coast, winter solstice ceremonies honored the return of the sun, a moment when daylight slowly reclaimed the sky. Amber, glowing with trapped golden fire, was believed to hold a piece of that returning light. Tribes along the Baltic Sea called it the tears of the sun, fallen from the sky and frozen until humanity needed them most. When winter deepened and nights stretched impossibly long, amber was carried as a charm to keep spirits warm. As Christian traditions merged with older solstice rituals, Baltic amber found a new place in seasonal symbolism. In early Catholic writings from Prussia, priests described villagers bringing pieces of amber to Christmas Eve services, letting the stone catch the flicker of candlelight. Its golden glow was said to represent the promise of hope in the Nativity story, the idea that light enters the world at its darkest hour. Though not an official religious artifact, its presence in winter worship was undeniable. Amber's physical properties strengthened its legendary status. When warmed in the hand, it emits a subtle scent, pine, earth, and distant forests, evoking the atmosphere of ancient winter rites. The stone's ability to hold trapped insects, leaves, or air bubbles from millions of years ago made it feel like time itself had been preserved. No other gemstone carried the same sense of memory, making it a powerful symbol during a season defined by reflection and renewal. In Christmas folklore, one belief stands out. Families kept a piece of amber near the hearth during the 12 nights of Christmas, claiming it protected the home from winter-wandering spirits. Whether superstition or metaphor, the stone became a quiet guardian of warmth during the coldest nights of the year. Today, Baltic amber still carries the glow that captivated winter cultures for millennia. Baltic amber once symbolized the sun during a season when daylight nearly disappeared. Even now, its golden warmth carries echoes of ancient fires and winter gatherings. But how much of its legend is rooted in spiritual belief, and how much in humanity's longing for warmth during cold months? Think about what light means to you: hope, memory, resilience, and how this stone expresses that meaning. When amber glows, does it feel like a piece of the past, a symbol of renewal, or an emotional anchor in winter darkness? Your interpretation helps shape its modern identity. Ranked 11th, Moonstone, the midwinter peace stone. Among all gems associated with winter legends, Moonstone holds a uniquely gentle presence, soft, luminous, and ethereal, as if shaped from the quietest moments of the season. Its bluish sheen has long been tied to the stillness of midwinter, when the world falls silent under layers of frost. And though Moonstone is often linked to summer tides and lunar folklore, its hidden connection to Christmas stretches far deeper into European tradition than most people realize. In Celtic regions long before Christianity arrived, Moonstone was considered a midwinter talisman. Tribes believed that during the longest nights of the year, the moon watched over the living while the sun slept. The stone's soft adulorescence was said to hold a fragment of that protective moonlight, calming storms, easing fear, and guiding travelers through frozen landscapes. As Christmas later overlaid older solstice ceremonies, this belief blended seamlessly into winter customs surrounding peace, renewal, and the promise of brighter days. Medieval manuscripts from Ireland and Scotland reference Moonstone in rituals held on the nights leading up to Christmas Eve. Families placed the gem in bowls of water near doorways, letting moonlight reflect across the surface. This shimmering image was interpreted as a symbol of inner stillness before the holy dawn. Monks described it as a reminder that tranquility was a sacred part of the season, equally important as celebration. Whether practical or mystical, the ritual endured for centuries. Moonstone's gemological nature adds depth to its legend. Its sheen, known as a dulurescence, moves across the stone like drifting winter light through clouds. This subtle glow made medieval storytellers compare it to the calm between snowfalls, a poetic image that resonated strongly with early Christmas symbolism. While other gems represented miracles, guidance, or protection, Moonstone embodied the peace that sits quietly at the heart of the season. Another lesser-known winter belief paints Moonstone as a mediator of household harmony. In regions of Brittany, it was placed beneath candles during the 12 nights of Christmas to cool tempers and encourage forgiveness among families. These customs weren't based on superstition alone. They reflected the emotional needs of communities enduring harsh winters, close quarters, and long nights. Modern viewers encountering Moonstone's winter story often describe an unexpected sense of serenity. Perhaps this is the true reason the gem remained tied to midwinter traditions. Its ability to mirror the emotional landscape of the season, quiet, reflective, hopeful. Moonstone reflects a peace that many people seek during winter, especially in the stillness before Christmas dawn. But is that tranquility something the stone possesses, or something people project onto it during the most reflective time of the year? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere between geology and emotion. When you look at Moonstone, does it mirror your own sense of calm, or does it awaken a memory of winter nights filled with quiet meaning? Share the feeling it evokes. Your reflection adds another layer to the story of this midwinter peace stone. Ranked 10th, Chrysoprase, the shepherd's midnight stone. On winter nights so silent they seem carved from frost, shepherds kept watch over their flocks beneath a moonlit sky. Many carried a pale green stone believed to steady the spirit and guard against fear. Its color, soft, living, almost spring-like, was a quiet promise that warmth would return. As the nativity story spread through the mountains, Chrysoprase became intertwined with the image of humble watchers who witnessed Christmas unfold under the stars. Long before nativity scenes were carved into cathedral stone, shepherds across Eastern Europe believed that Chrysoprase carried the color of hidden spring, a reminder that life persisted beneath snow and frost. During the midwinter season, when darkness stretched across the land, they kept small pieces of the gem in leather pouches, trusting it to calm their animals and steady their own spirits. When Christianity spread through the region, this tradition took on new meaning, especially as shepherds became essential characters in the story of the first Christmas night. Medieval folklore from the Carpathians tells of shepherd groups who believed Chrysoprase helped them remain awake during night watches. Its green glow symbolized vigilance, clarity, and purity of intention, qualities deeply tied to the nativity tale. By the 12th century, manuscripts reference the stone as Lapis pastorum, or the shepherd's stone, connecting it directly to the biblical shepherds who witnessed the holy birth. Though no record states they carried it, the symbolism resonated strongly with rural communities, merging natural tradition with sacred narrative. Gemologically, Chrysoprase's significance becomes even more compelling. Unlike emerald, its color arises from nickel content, creating a translucent green reminiscent of moonlit grass or dawn light beneath frost. This luminous quality led storytellers to call it the midnight spring, a metaphor for hope emerging in the darkest hours. A perfect alignment with Christmas themes of renewal and divine revelation. The stone's ability to appear almost self-lit made it a natural fit for winter tales centered on watchfulness and wonder. One lesser-known legend describes Chrysoprase as a guide for travelers during the 12 nights of Christmas. Villagers believed its glow strengthened under moonlight, acting as a subtle reminder of direction, though this belief was symbolic rather than literal. The idea that a stone could carry a secret message for those who walk the night only deepened its mystique. Today, Chrysoprase invites a fresh question for modern viewers. Did this stone become part of Christmas lore because of its beauty, or because its gentle glow captured the emotional truth of those who kept watch in the cold, waiting for light, protection, or a sign? Does Chrysoprase deserve to be remembered as the shepherd's midnight stone? Or has time overshadowed a legend that once reflected the spirit of Christmas night itself? Ranked ninth, Red Garnet, the St. Nicholas Blessing Stone. Before the cheerful figure of Santa emerged, St. Nicholas walked winter roads offering protection to the vulnerable. Legends say he carried a red gemstone whose glow symbolized compassion and steadfast courage. That stone, believed by many to be red garnet, was placed near lamps during icy December nights to invoke his blessing. Its warm crimson fire resembled a lone ember in the cold, a symbol of generosity that defined the earliest Christmas traditions. Historical records from the Byzantine Empire mention red garnet in religious ornaments worn by bishops during winter services. Its color symbolized both generosity and sacrifice, two virtues central to the legend of St. Nicholas. As stories of the saint traveled across Europe, garnet became a symbolic companion to his miracles of charity during the coldest season. Many medieval villagers believed red garnet held the power to ignite kindness in those who wore it, reflecting the saint's legacy of giving without expectation. A particularly intriguing tale originates from the 13th century Anatolia. According to local tradition, families placed a small garnet near their windows on the night devoted to St. Nicholas. It was said that if the stone caught the faint red glow of dawn, blessings would follow the household throughout the winter. While the ritual blended Christian devotion with earlier winter customs, the belief endured long enough to embed garnet firmly into seasonal lore. Gemologically, the stone's appearance reinforces its legendary status. Its rich, wine-red hue resembles coals kept alive through long winter nights, a metaphor that resonated deeply with communities relying on warmth and hearth fire to survive the season. Garnet's durability also made it a symbol of steadfastness, echoing the protective presence the saint was believed to offer travelers, sailors, and children. These qualities made it one of the few gemstones repeatedly tied to acts of winter compassion. Another lesser-known piece of folklore describes red garnet as a guiding ember for winter pilgrims. In some alpine monasteries, travelers carrying garnet were said to be watched over by St. Nicholas during the treacherous December routes. Though the belief was more cultural than religious, it strengthened the stone's reputation as a companion to generosity, courage, and safe passage. In the context of Christmas legends, red garnet represents more than ornamental beauty. It captures the emotional essence of the season: warmth in coldness, light in darkness, and generosity during hardship. Red garnet's warm glow has long been tied to St. Nicholas and the spirit of generosity he represented. Its color mirrors embers that burn through winter's cold, a symbol of kindness that refuses to fade. But in today's world, filled with modern images of Christmas, does this gemstone still carry the emotional weight it once did? Or has its meaning shifted into something more personal, tied to memories rather than legends? Reflect on how this stone resonates with you. Your thoughts can help revive or reinterpret a symbol that shaped early Christmas traditions in ways many have forgotten. Ranked 8th, Blue Zircon, the December Lightstone. Winter once swallowed entire villages in darkness, leaving only lanterns and hearth fires to cut through the cold. Blue Zircon became the stone of the season not because of folklore alone, but because of its extraordinary brilliance. Even in faint candlelight, it explodes with icy sparks of color, like a shard of December dawn trapped in crystal. For those facing the year's darkest month, this gemstone served as a reminder that light always returns. Traces of this connection appear in manuscripts from the 12th and 13th centuries, where clergy in Central Europe described a blue gemstone placed near lanterns during Advent rituals. The stone's sharp sparkle was said to represent divine guidance in the darkest nights leading to the Nativity. Although zircon was not always explicitly named, scholars now believe these accounts referred to it. No other blue gemstone of the era displayed such intense refraction. As a result, blue zircon quietly entered early Christmas symbolism as a gem that amplified winter light. Its role deepened in Nordic folklore, where long winters cast both literal and emotional shadows over entire communities. Blue zircon, with its ability to capture and scatter light like frozen lightning, became a talisman for clarity and truth during December. Storytellers claim the stone revealed hidden intentions when held near firelight, a metaphor for illumination that aligned naturally with the spiritual themes of the Christmas season. Gemologically, blue zircon's reputation is well-earned. Its brilliance rivals diamonds, and its dispersion creates flashes of color that cut through darkness with unusual intensity. Medieval observers, lacking scientific explanation, believed the gem carried fragments of celestial frost. Some even argued it contained a spark of the first winter dawn, a poetic interpretation shaped by the long nights that defined their world. An especially compelling legend from the Austrian Alps describes families placing blue zircon on windowsills during the 12 nights of Christmas. If moonlight touched the stone, its glow was believed to symbolically bless the home with clarity for the coming year. While this ritual was more cultural than religious, it strengthened the stone's image as a winter lantern, both protective and revealing. In the broader landscape of Christmas legends, blue zircon's significance lies in what it represents: the power of light to break through darkness. When the season emphasizes hope arriving in the coldest moment, this gemstone becomes more than decoration. It becomes a metaphor for the emotional resilience people sought during midwinter. Blue zircon's brilliance once brought hope to those facing December's longest nights. Its icy sparks of color reminded communities that light always finds a way to return. But was its role in winter tradition born from genuine spiritual symbolism, or did people cling to its radiance simply because it offered comfort in the cold? What memory, image, or feeling does this gemstone evoke for you? Dawn breaking through snow, candlelight in a quiet room, or something entirely different? Share your interpretation. Your insight adds a new shade to the story of this December lightstone. Ranked 7th. Green Diopside, the Northern Starstone. In the vast, snowy reaches of the north, where winter seems endless and the sun barely rises, travelers relied on a single celestial marker, the Northern Star. When green diopside was discovered in these icy lands, its luminous green shimmer reminded wanderers of that guiding light. Under moonlight, the stone flashed with a clarity that seemed impossible in such darkness. Its glow became a symbol of direction, endurance, and the quiet strength needed to survive winter's longest nights. Centuries before the nativity story spread across Europe and Asia, northern tribes observed a brilliant seasonal star that appeared during the darkest part of winter. To them, this celestial marker represented direction, endurance, and survival. When green diopside was later discovered in these regions, its natural luster evoked that same sense of guidance. The stone became a symbolic companion for hunters, shepherds, and travelers moving through snow-covered terrain. Over time, as Christianity blended with existing winter customs, this guiding star mythology connected seamlessly to the Star of Bethlehem, forming the quiet bridge that tied green diopside to Christmas legends. One of the earliest written references comes from an 11th century chronicle describing a green gemstone worn by northern monks during winter vigils. They believed its color represented the promise of returning light, while its silky sheen resembled the faint glow of the northern star on a moonless night. Whether coincidence or deliberate symbolism, the association grew strong enough that the gemstone became a winter emblem for clarity, direction, and inner steadiness. Gemologically, diopside's power of suggestion is remarkable. When cut properly, the stone displays pleochroism, giving off subtle shifts of color, light green, forest green, and even hints of icy blue under cold light. To medieval observers, these shimmering tones look like a star refracted through frost. Its optical qualities inspired poets to describe it as the star that lies beneath the snow, a metaphor aligning naturally with the guiding imagery central to the Christmas season. A lesser-known Siberian tale tells of families placing green diopside on evergreen branches during the 12 nights of winter. As candles flickered beneath the boughs, the gemstone caught the light and cast tiny reflections across the room. These glimmers were interpreted as blessings from the northern star, quiet assurances that households would find direction in the coming year. While symbolic, the ritual reveals how deeply the stone's meaning had permeated seasonal storytelling. Green diopside's connection to the northern star raises a profound question about human nature. Why do people search for signs in stones when the sky itself is full of them? Perhaps it's because gemstones can be carried, held, and kept close, symbols of guidance made tangible. But does this gem truly reflect the star that inspired one of the world's most enduring stories? Or is the link purely poetic? Think about what guidance means in your own life. Would you choose a stone like this as your personal winter compass, or would another gem hold that role? Your view adds depth to this ancient legend. Ranked 6th, white selenite, the angelic lightstone. When a single flame flickers near selenite, its surface fills with drifting bands of white light, soft, silent, almost feather-like. Medieval monks described these shifting halos as the breath of angels, believing the stone glowed in the presence of the sacred. During long nights of winter prayer, selenite illuminated pages of scripture with a radiance gentle enough to calm the mind. Its glow, fragile and pure, became an enduring symbol of Christmas guardianship. This association emerges from manuscripts dating back to the 10th century. Early monastic scribes described a pale stone that seemed to hold the shimmer of wings. When placed near candle flames during Advent vigils, the stone refracted light into gentle rays resembling halos. To monks who spent long nights in prayer leading up to Christmas, these luminous reflections were interpreted as signs of the divine presence that heralded the Nativity. Though not officially recognized as a liturgical gem, selenite became a symbolic companion to the season's sacred imagery. In rural folklore, selenite's legend deepened. Families in southern France and northern Italy kept small pieces of the stone near cradles during the 12 nights of Christmas, believing it protected infants from wandering winter spirits. The tradition drew inspiration from the Nativity story, echoing the belief that angels watched over the newborn Christ. While the practice was rooted in superstition rather than theology, it revealed how strongly selenite's calming glow resonated with themes of guardianship and purity. From a gemological perspective, selenite's optical qualities make these legends understandable. Its fibrous structure creates a natural lensing effect that diffuses light into soft, radiant bands. Medieval observers, lacking scientific vocabulary, described this phenomenon as the glow that moves without fire. To them, the stone seemed animated by an invisible presence, perfectly aligning with the celestial imagery associated with Christmas night. One lesser-known tradition reinforces this connection. In certain monasteries, selenite was placed on altars during the final Mass before Christmas dawn. As sunlight filtered through stained glass, the stone illuminated with a quiet brilliance that monks interpreted as symbolic of the angelic announcement to shepherds. Though no miracle was claimed, the symbolism endured, enriching the spiritual atmosphere of the season. This blend of physical beauty and sacred meaning positions selenite as one of the most evocative gemstones tied to Christmas folklore. Selenite's gentle light has long been associated with peace, purity, and unseen protection. Some traditions claim its glow mirrors the presence of angels, while others see only the natural beauty of its translucence. But legends persist because they resonate emotionally, even when history remains silent. When you imagine selenite near a candle on Christmas Eve, does it feel symbolic, spiritual, or simply calming? Share what the stone evokes for you. Your reflection can reveal which part of its story, faith, folklore, or serenity, continues to endure in the modern season of winter light. Ranked 5th, Peridot, the forgotten gift of the three wise men. Some early Christian texts allude to a gift that never reached the manger, a fiery blue gem said to represent renewal and divine wisdom. Its light was believed to strengthen weary travelers and reveal truth in moments of doubt. Over the centuries, the story faded, leaving only fragmented descriptions. But those fragments perfectly match a single gemstone, Peridot. If a fourth gift truly existed, this brilliant blue stone may well be it. The earliest hints appear in fragments of Syriac Christian texts referring to a blue stone of divine wisdom carried by travelers from the east. Though not explicitly named, its description closely resembles Peridot, a gemstone highly prized throughout the ancient Near East. In Egyptian and Arab cultures, Peridot symbolized divine favor, insightful vision, and spiritual guidance, all virtues closely associated with the journeys of the wise. As these legends spread through early Christianity, Peridot quietly integrated with nativity symbolism, forming the foundation of its connection to Christmas. Medieval scholars added further depth to this connection. Some commentaries from the 11th century suggest that the fourth gift symbolizes spiritual renewal, a natural theme linked to Peridot's vibrant green. Its color represents life returning from darkness, reflecting the theological message of hope at the heart of the Christmas season. While this interpretation never became official doctrine, it was embraced by storytellers and pilgrims who believed the gem carried a sacred mission. Gemologically, Peridot's qualities solidify its legendary status. Unlike most other green gemstones, Peridot shines with a warm yellow hue, almost as if illuminated from within. This inner light led ancient observers to call it the stone that never sleeps, a poetic testament to its unusual luminosity even in dim light. For medieval communities celebrating Christmas with candlelight, this characteristic was symbolic, reminiscent of the guiding light that led the wise men to Bethlehem. A fascinating folktale from the Eastern Mediterranean tells of Peridot being placed alongside lanterns during Christmas Eve prayers. The stone's gentle light is said to symbolize the wisdom of the Magi themselves, prudence, perseverance, and humility. Families kept Peridot near cribs and bassinets during the 12 Christmas nights, believing it offered protection to infants, mirroring the protection of the infant Jesus. If a fourth gift truly existed, it would change how the entire nativity story is understood. Peridot's vivid green glow represents renewal, clarity, and divine protection, qualities that align perfectly with the journey of the wise men. But was it ever meant to reach the Christ child, or did it remain a private talisman carried for strength? This legend invites a deeper look at faith, tradition, and the human need for meaning during winter's darkest nights. Which interpretation resonates more with you, the forgotten gift theory or the symbolic companion theory? Your voice helps decide where this gemstone truly belongs in Christmas lore. Ranked fourth, Lapis Lazuli, the Nativity Skystone. Among all gemstones intertwined with Christmas imagery, Lapis Lazuli holds one of the most visually striking and historically grounded connections. Its deep, ultramarine blue, flecked with golden pyrite that resembles scattered starlight, became the very color of the heavens in medieval depictions of the Nativity. Long before synthetic pigments existed, lapis lazuli was the only material capable of capturing the night sky's profound stillness, making it the stone that shaped how the world came to imagine Christmas. During the Middle Ages, artists across Italy, France, and the Byzantine world used powdered lapis to paint the robes of the Virgin Mary in the celestial backdrop of the nativity scene. Because the pigment, known as ultramarine, was more valuable than gold, only the most sacred moments were granted its use. When the sky above Bethlehem was illustrated in illuminated manuscripts, it was almost always rendered in lapis, its color conveying divinity, purity, and the vastness of the holy night. This artistic choice evolved into legend. A tradition recorded in 14th century Florence claimed that the stones used to create ultramarine were blessed during Advent, then ground into pigment as a symbol of transforming earthly matter into heavenly light. Although symbolic rather than literal, the ritual reinforced lapis lazuli's link to the nativity story. Painters believed the stone held a fragment of the Christmas sky itself, turning it into a sacred medium for capturing the birth of Christ. Gemological qualities further fueled this belief. The stone's golden pyrite inclusions mimic constellations, creating the illusion of a night sky scattered across polished blue. Medieval scholars described it as the vault of heaven caught in stone, a phrase that shaped its status throughout Europe. No other gemstone carried such a dramatic visual echo of the Christmas star, making lapis the perfect embodiment of the Nativity's cosmic wonder. Folk traditions added another layer to its legend. In parts of southern France, families kept small pieces of lapis near their windows during the 12 nights of Christmas, believing the stone would absorb the winter sky and bring calm to the household. In northern Germany, it was placed near candles during Christmas Eve readings, allowing the golden flecks to shimmer like distant angels' lights. These customs were never officially sanctioned, but they reveal how deeply the stone's symbolic power resonated. Today, lapis lazuli still carries the memory of the night sky that shaped centuries of Christmas art, and this invites a question for modern viewers exploring the hidden gems of the season. Was lapis chosen to depict the nativity because of its beauty, or because ancient artists sensed something sacred in its starlit depths? Does lapis lazuli truly deserve its title as the nativity skystone, or has its role in shaping Christmas imagery been overlooked in modern times? Rank third, Goldstone, the monk's Christmas miracle stone. Inside a silent winter monastery, a furnace glowed against the icy air, while monks prepared glass for sacred ornaments. Legend tells that a spark from a Christmas vigil candle fell into the molten mixture, scattering shimmering flecks that cooled into a stone, glowing with tiny stars. Whether an accident or a miracle, the creation stunned the monks. Its warm, celestial sparkle felt like a divine reminder that even in the darkest winter, light finds a way to return. According to Venetian tradition, the creation of Goldstone was not the result of deliberate craftsmanship, but a serendipitous event during the Christmas season. Chronicles from the 17th century describe a group of Franciscan monks working late into the winter night, tending molten glass inside a monastery furnace. As the story goes, an ember from a Christmas vigil candle fell into the mixture, sending tiny sparks into the swirling glass. When the material cooled, it revealed thousands of glittering copper crystals, shimmering like stars trapped within a winter sky. Although embellished over generations, the miracle-like origin transformed Goldstone into a seasonal emblem. Its appearance, dark, warm, and illuminated with flashes of golden light, resembled the night of the Nativity depicted in religious art. To many in the region, the stone symbolized heaven's spark, a reminder that light can emerge unexpectedly in the quiet of winter. The stone's influence extended beyond monastic circles. In northern Italy, families believed Goldstone brought blessings when displayed near Christmas lanterns. The shimmering flecks were said to echo the light of the Star of Bethlehem, guiding hope into the household. During the 12 nights of Christmas, artisans carried small Goldstone pieces for inspiration, believing the stone sharpened clarity and creativity during the sacred holiday season. From a gemological perspective, Goldstone's sparkle, created by copper crystals suspended within glass, captures light in a way few natural gems can replicate. Medieval observers, unaware of the chemical process, describe the effect as a constellation in a single stone. This celestial aesthetic made Goldstone a powerful visual metaphor in winter storytelling. Whether worn as a pendant, placed on altars, or kept near candlelight, the stone became a quiet reminder of warmth during the coldest days of the year. Another lesser-known legend speaks of Goldstone used by traveling monks to lift the spirits of communities struggling through harsh winters. Its glimmer was said to represent divine resilience, a symbolic reassurance that light would always return after darkness. Whether symbolic or superstitious, the belief endured, embedding the gemstone firmly into Christmas folklore. Legends like this one endure because they blur the line between miracle and coincidence. Goldstone's shimmering stars have inspired generations to wonder whether its creation was an accident of chemistry or something far more meaningful. But perhaps the real power lies in the story itself, a reminder that light can emerge in the most unlikely moments. When you look at this stone's glow, does it feel like the product of chance, craftsmanship, or destiny? Share which interpretation speaks to you. Your insight becomes part of the legend's next chapter, as every retelling reshapes the miracle that started in a winter monastery. Ranked second, red Spinel, the lost ruby of the Magi. Amid the treasures woven into ancient Christmas lore, red Spinel holds one of the most intriguing and overlooked stories. For centuries, this gemstone traveled through royal courts, holy relic collections, and medieval churches under a false identity. Mistaken repeatedly for fine ruby, it became known in historical circles as the impostor king's gem. But in the realm of Christmas legends, it earned a far more mysterious title, the lost ruby of the Magi. Clues appear in early Christian commentaries referencing a red gemstone believed to have accompanied the wise men on their long journey across the desert. Though the official gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh are well known, Several Syriac manuscripts describe an additional stone carried as a symbol of devotion, not meant to be presented, but kept as a personal talisman. Its qualities, deep red, fire-filled, and enduring, align uncannily with what is now recognized as red spinel rather than ruby. This association deepened in medieval Europe. Ecclesiastical treasure lists from the 9th to 12th centuries reference the Magian ruby, a stone believed to possess protective power during winter pilgrimages. Later, gemological analysis revealed many of these revered relics were not ruby at all, but spinel, misidentified due to the limitations of ancient science. The revelation reframed the legend. Perhaps the missing stone of the Magi was spinel all along, a gem whose brilliance had been mistaken for royalty and sanctity for more than a millennium. From a gemological standpoint, red spinel's fiery brilliance explains its mythic rise. Its internal glow, caused by chromium, produces a warmth reminiscent of emberlight, a visual metaphor that resonated strongly with winter traditions. Medieval storytellers compared its color to the rising dawn over Bethlehem, symbolizing spiritual awakening during the Christmas season. A lesser-known tradition from Armenia connects red spinel directly to the Nativity. Families believed the stone's radiant glow represented the devotion of the wise men themselves, steady, unwavering, and guided by a star. During the 12 nights of Christmas, small spinel talismans were kept near lamps or candles, the flickering light making the stone appear almost alive. This effect deepened its association with sacred guidance. In the broader cultural imagination, red spinel embodied themes central to Christmas: humility, mistaken identity, and hidden worth. A gemstone repeatedly overshadowed by ruby became a quiet symbol of the idea that greatness often appears in unexpected forms, mirroring the nativity story itself. This leads to a compelling question for modern audiences. If spinel traveled through centuries disguised as a gemstone of kings and saints, could it truly have been the Magi's forgotten companion? Does red spinel deserve its title as the lost ruby of the Magi? Or should this legendary role remain with ruby alone? In first place, Star Sapphire, the gem of the Bethlehem star. A cold winter night once held a light unlike any other, a star so bright it changed the course of history, and within a single gemstone, that radiance seems to have been captured forever. When the soft glow of a candle touches a star sapphire, a luminous six-ray star awakens inside the stone, drifting as though it is alive. For centuries, believers whispered that this celestial shimmer was no accident, but an earthly echo of the Bethlehem star itself. The earliest hints appear in Byzantine manuscripts describing a blue gemstone believed to reflect the guiding light that once led wise men through the desert. Though not explicitly named, the description unmistakably matches star sapphire. At the time, few gemstones displayed the star-like phenomenon that sapphire is famous for. Artists and scholars of the medieval world saw this natural miracle as an earthly reflection of the Star of Bethlehem, a symbol of divine guidance during the darkest season of the year. As Christianity spread across Europe, star sapphire's reputation grew. Monastic orders kept polished specimens in small reliquaries, using them during Advent readings. When candlelight struck the stone, the star inside glided gently across its surface, creating the illusion of a heavenly sign moving through night. To the faithful, this was more than a visual effect. It was a reminder of the moment the Christmas story began, with a star that refused to fade. In the 13th century, a tradition emerged in parts of Italy and Greece. Families placed a star sapphire near windows during the 12 nights of Christmas. When moonlight touched the stone, the star's glow was believed to bless the household with clarity, protection, and direction for the coming year. While symbolic rather than miraculous, this ritual reveals how deeply star sapphire had become woven into holiday imagination. Gemologically, the stone's magic lies in its structure. The intersecting rays of light, formed by rudal inclusions, create the iconic star that seems to hover within the gem. Medieval observers, unaware of crystallography, describe this phenomenon as a star imprisoned in blue sky, a poetic image that shaped centuries of Christmas symbolism. Its deep blue mirrored the night sky of nativity paintings, while its star echoed the celestial sign that guided the Magi. A lesser-known piece of folklore from the Levant tells of travelers who carried star sapphire as a charm during winter journeys. Its migrating star was believed to offer guidance when paths grew uncertain. Though not tied directly to doctrine, the belief reflects humanity's desire for direction, a desire embedded deeply in the Christmas story. The drifting star within this gemstone has fascinated believers and skeptics for centuries. Some saw it as a celestial reminder that guidance can appear in unexpected places, while others viewed it purely as a geological wonder. But legends survive not because they demand belief, but because they spark questions that refuse to fade. So here's one for you. If a single stone can mirror the star that shaped the Christmas story, what does that say about the boundary between symbolism and reality? Share whether this gemstone feels like a sacred echo to you or simply a miraculous accident of nature. Across centuries, through frost, faith, myth, and memory, these 15 gemstones carried stories far larger than their size. Some guided travelers through winter darkness. Some shaped the colors of ancient paintings. Others whispered of forgotten rituals and miracles believed to glow only on a single night of the year. Whether these legends were born from truth, symbolism, or the human desire to find light in the cold, each stone revealed something constant. Every generation searches for meaning when the nights grow longest. Christmas is remembered for one star, but countless small lights, gems, flames, hopes, kept entire worlds alive through winter. If one of these stones stirred something familiar, unexpected, or beautiful within this journey, let that feeling stay with you. These legends were never meant to be proven. They were meant to be carried, shared, questioned, and passed forward like winter lanterns. And as the season continues, one thought lingers. If gemstones held such stories in the past, what hidden legends might still be waiting in the earth beneath our feet?